There are 651 GameCube games, and I'm trying to beat them all while at the mercy of this horrendous wheel. Welcome to Beating the GameCube. Game 30 is Mario Party 4. Released in 2002, it was developed by Hudson Soft and published by Nintendo. I had a blast with this game as a kid, and I was definitely in a minigame sort of mood. During my research, I was surprised to discover it had mixed reviews and does not make many people's top 5 Mario parties. I wasn't worried though, nostalgia is one hell of a drug, and I was full of it. Did I become the number one superstar, or did Luigi win by doing absolutely nothing? Let's find out. Also, if you do like the series, don't forget to please like and comment as they help a ton. As a series, Mario Party has never been story focused, it's more about making enemies and losing friends. This one is particularly sparse. Toad and friends just show up in the sky on a giant glowing present, and they say,
"It's party time!"
I found the menu to be clean and simple, and I was offered a mixture of single and multiplayer content. There was the party and minigame modes where you can play unlocked boards or minigames with comms or friends, and then there's an extra room which has 3 special boards for up to 4 players. Finally, there is a single player story mode, and that's what I'll be beating as there is a final boss battle. Following challenge traditions, I asked my chat to vote for our character, and Yoshi absolutely crushed the poll. That meant I had to buck my childhood trend of picking Peach. End of an era. The game defaults to easy difficulty, but I upped it to normal, and then there were 5 different boards to choose from, and they have star ratings which pertain to the complexity of the gimmick and overall difficulty. We kicked it off with a 1-star map, Toad's Midway Madness. Every board begins with you each hitting a dice block, and your turn order is decided by highest to lowest roll. In story mode, the game lasts 15 turns, and your aim is to accumulate the most stars. Stars can be bought from the host for the princely sum of 20 coins, or through some more nefarious means. Each player then takes a turn to hit the same dice block and see how far they'll move. The space you land on then does a thing. Blue spaces give 3 coins, red take them away, and green happening spaces do stage-specific shenanigans. Coins can be gathered in all manner of ways, but the big one is winning minigames. When all 4 characters have finished their turn, a minigame will be randomly selected. These could be free-for-all, 2 versus 2, or even 1 versus 3. We'll cover minigames in greater detail later, but this is what it's all about. Every entry in the series has a unique selection of these little beauties, and I think 4 has a very solid, if not limited, lineup. Each board's gimmick is tied with its theme, and Midway Madness is no exception. We're in a theme park, complete with teacups that force you to go in a certain direction, and if you hit a happening space, a roller coaster will chase you along the track. Other characters triggering happenings will usually affect everybody in the line of fire, so this could lead to some of your best laid plans going awry. Now, while all of that is going on, there's tons of other variables at play. Items can be acquired from shops, certain spaces, and some board events, and they have all kinds of effects. The most coveted by far being the magic lamp, which insta-warps you to the star space. This game also features new size-altering mushrooms. Mega and Giga Shrumbos let you roll 2 and 3 die respectively, and whilst big, you will ignore all board events and even crush people that you pass, yoinking a handful of their coins. Mini-mushes, meanwhile, shrink your dice roll down to a 5 at max, allowing for more precision if you really want to land on specific spaces. They also unlock special shortcuts and events around the board. Whew, so yeah, just a ton going on. These games are always sheer chaos, and that is a big part of the charm. Now, just in case all that wasn't enough, let's talk about the really volatile stuff. Boo spaces let you steal coins from other players or even pilfer a star if you have the cash. This led to many arguments with my sister back in the day. She would always steal my stuff. We're still working through it. Then there's the dreaded Bowser space, which makes a Koopa kid fly down and steal coins from the poor sap who landed on it. Occasionally, they even summon the King of Koopas himself. This usually leads to a Bowser minigame. You cannot win these, you just try to not lose. Bowser will torch said loser before taking half or maybe even all of their coins. Those aren't even the worst spaces. Reversal of Fortune is the rebirth of the dreaded Chance Time, and these have always been the dumbest thing. The player that lands on it plays pinball to determine a giver, receiver, and the outcome. This could have you give away some coins or stars, or even get as crazy as trading all of your coins and stars. You simply have to live in fear of these. Diabolical. And then lastly, there's the new lottery shops. Paying 5 coins lets you either pick a scratch ticket or roll a lottery ball, with prizes ranging from mushrooms to a whopping 100 coin jackpot. Sheesh! As you can tell, there's just a ton going on. With systems this tumultuous, anything can happen. That is what makes this series so magical though. It's evil, it's chaotic, but we just keep coming back for more. This first board was actually going quite competitively. I was putting on a clinic winning minigames, but Daisy was still nipping at my heels on star count. Things were still looking good for me heading into the final few turns, but the Mario Party gods had other plans. I'll be on the second to last turn, try and buy something valuable like a boo or a lamp, and then I can do a thing on the last turn. Watch Waluigi win the 100 coin prize now. Crack, welcome in. Corrected! Alright, well, I'll get cooked by Daisy. Daisy is off to the races in this one. Unless he wins 100 coins, because he would have ignored this lottery shop if he was still big. I called that dude. I called it. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable, dude. This was astronomically unlucky, my guy. Actually insane. The jackpot is a 1 in 50 occurrence, so that's bad enough, but the sticker that Daisy put down is one of the rarest items in the game, and if she hadn't put it down exactly when and where she did, Waluigi would have been a giant and then would not have been able to play the lottery. I haven't crunched the numbers on this sequence of events, but this was staggeringly bad RNG. Now, to explain why that was such a big deal, let's talk about bonus stars. Before the winner is declared, when the board ends, the host will present 3 bonus stars. The minigame star will go to the person that won the most minigames and is the closest thing to a true skill reward that the game has. Then there's the coin star. The person that had the highest coin count at any point will win that, and Waluigi sniped it from me by sheer dumb luck. Lastly is the happening star. This goes to the person that landed on the most green happening spaces. This is almost entirely RNG, and guess who won that? Waluigi, of course. The superstar is then the person with the most stars, and in the case of a tie, the most coins. So just like that, I lost my first board in epic fashion. Honestly, it still cracks me up even now. Definitely a very memorable moment for the stream, and don't hate the player, hate the game. Waluigi, you're alright. I was understandably pretty frazzled after that rollercoaster ride, so we hopped to a different board. The other 1-star is Shy Guy's Jungle Jam. Mechanically, things work the same, but each board has its own quirks. Here, there are Shy Guys working rafts, and they'll let you switch lanes. They park up at the new location, making it a one-way trip. Then there's Klepto the Condor, who will carry you across the map for a small fee. During the flight, you can lean left or right to collect coins, and it's so easy, it's free real estate. Lastly, there's the happening spaces, which will trigger the Shy Guy wishing wells. You must choose to make a happy or sad wish, and the correct answer is a 50-50. Displeasing, the giant head will make a cry, and that shuts off a key bridge for multiple turns. Things went smoothly for me this time, and they even began with a nice little treat. Well, how about that? Well, I'm sure that's not going to come back to bite me when somebody else gets one of those later. Now, it's inevitable in a game this dense that I just simply cannot cover every detail, but there's 2 last noteworthy systems. First, we have the battle minigames. If anybody lands on a bob-omb space, a random amount of coins is extracted from everybody, and you all play to win them. Some of these are pure RNG, like Bowser's Biggest Blast. Others are really fun, like Trace Race. First place wins the lion's share, and second might get back what they contributed to the pot. These can be total game changers. Then there's the last 5 turn events. Lottery shops give bonus tickets early on, and this is where the draw happens. The host will choose 3 faces at random, and if anybody has a matching ticket, they will win a star. Then the last place randomly picks a modifier. This might be doubling red and blue spaces to 6 coins, stars becoming free, or the spookiest, all red spaces becoming reversal of fortunes. I hope whoever cooked up that last one loses the matching pair to every sock they own. Now, compared to that earlier shambles, I just dominated here. I also did a clean sweep on bonus stars, so it wasn't even close. For winning, I was given a special present. The Shy Guy said I'd have to defeat him 1v1 to receive it. Each host then has a special minigame. Archaeology Guess has you determine which shape out of 5 has one difference from the others. I pause buffered a little and won without much trouble. For my efforts, I received a fabulous table, and I love this little guy. I don't think I've ever seen a more smug looking item of furniture in my entire life. All of the pain until now has been worth it. I love table. With the wind in my sails, I pressed on. Goomba's Greedy Gala is my favourite board, as it has what every good party game needs: pay to win. It's split into 4 sections, with the star switching to a new one each time it's bought. In the centre is a roulette wheel, and where it lands will pick your path. However, you can bribe Goomba with 5, 10, or even 20 coins to dramatically increase your chances of being sent towards the star. If you get really lucky, you can even win 20 coins and get a free pick of direction. Not every event was so kind though. You could also pass through a dice duel. If you roll higher than Goomba, you'll win 10 coins. Lower will send you back to the star. I swear I lost every single time and the comms always won. That is some clanker favoritism if I ever saw it. Thanks to the pay to win though, nothing could slow me down. Nice! I make my own RNG in this Mario hellhole. So far, nothing insane had happened like on the Midway Madness, and I was able to lock in another dub. The Cubs were putting up more of a fight than anticipated, but I was glad to see them getting stars as it kept things interesting. This time we played Chip Flip with Goomba, and it's pure RNG. Just ground pound random chips and gain or lose points accordingly. Better lucky than good, baby! That's 2 wins on the board, and now I have Yoshi's computer. At this point I'd been going for 4 hours, and I was pretty cooked, so we wrapped it up for the day, and I just replayed Midway Madness off stream. This time I crushed the comms and played Bowser Bop with Toad. This is simple whack-a-mole, and we scored almost double what he did. This time my present was my son. That raises some serious ethical questions about these games and what I've been playing for. I always knew that Toad was a wrong'un. I then schmooved on over to another 2-star map, Boo's Haunted Bash. In the centre of the board is a red Boo, and walking past will cause them to appear or hide. When the red Boo's hiding, the white ones will appear and run a mystery train service that will take you to any of the 4 graves around the board. Then when the red Boos appear, they create bridges for the players to cross. There are some stars that are just unreachable if the bridges are down, so it's a pretty clunky map. We spent most of this board just cracking up at DK. The poor guy just couldn't catch a break. He was constantly landing on red or Bowser spaces and losing all the Bowser games. No wonder he stopped being a playable character. By the time we reached the last 5 turns, nobody had a single star. It just felt like we were all constantly poor and going in circles. Just like real life. A situation like this is where having some degree of tactical thinking really comes into play. The bonus stars are incredibly powerful to lock down and only become more so when there are few stars in play. Being cracked at minigames is the obvious way to secure the minigame and possibly even coin star, but you may want to deliberately throw a 2v2 or 1 versus 3 team game if it will hinder your allies from getting enough coins for a star or risks them getting the coin star. You do also have some control over what spaces you land on via items like the warp pipe and the mushrooms, as well as using divergent paths and stage gimmicks to your advantage. Maybe you'll deliberately land on a red space so you can 1 versus 3 the others, or perhaps you'll beeline to a Bowser space to try and sabotage someone else's coins. In a game of sheer chaos and many parts luck, being able to channel those elements towards better outcomes for yourself is a ton of fun. I finessed my way into enough bonus stars to lock in the win, and then it was time to battle Boo. Mystic Match'em involves trying to collect 3 matching instrument cards by discarding 1 from your hand and picking a face down one. You take it in turns, and if you run out of face down cards, it all resets. This one is a little tedious, it can go for a really long time. We got there in the end though, and my next present was a pair of wee boots. 1 board left. The final 2-star board is Koopa's Seaside Soiree. This was the one I remembered the most vividly. It's divided in 2 with Ukiki's Banana Peel junctions, making it a 50-50 which path you can take. The main theme though is Koopa strong-arming you into funding his real estate ambitions. Crossing a Koopa space will charge you 5 coins to help build his hotel, with it growing in scale after reaching certain milestones.
It's free real estate.
Then if you land on a happening out front, it will charge you an exorbitant fee to stay the night Monopoly style, but then a tidal wave will wash it all away and the cycle repeats. The other kind of happening has dolphins take you from one fruit platform to a matching one, and Waluigi was stuck in a constant loop for the whole board, just making him a shoo-in for the happening star. Add to that Wario finding an early hidden block star, and those brothers had me concerned. Luckily, thanks to this challenge, I'm a top angler, and winning the Rumble Fishing Battle game kept me ahead. Despite Waluigi's valiant efforts to have me lose twice this playthrough, I did secure enough stars to edge him out. Not today, Bucky boy. Our final 1 vs 1 was careening Koopas. Get the shells in the holes, complete 3 boards as fast as you can, win. Nice and simple. With that done, I received my final present, a cute little Yoshi doll. Yay! Having won every board, Toad seemed ready to tell me something, but then Bowser interrupted and yoinked all of my presents away, the absolute fiend. He challenged me to one last party to win it all back. This unlocked the final and only 3-star board, Bowser's Gnarly Party. Now, before we finish this one out, let's talk about minigames. A Mario Party game lives and dies by these, and these have to be fun to make the game appealing. I fortunately think this is a stellar lineup, and I enjoyed practically all of them. Free-for-alls are by far the most entertaining. It's just you against the world, and these often have the most room for you to pop off. Some are purely score the most points, while others involve a time-based mechanic, and those allow for setting records, which is always a good incentive. The best free-for-all for me was Book Squirm. This one is fast, it's fun, it's pure execution. It gets progressively quicker and more difficult. I just wish the comms lasted a little longer. Sometimes you can also get coin games where everybody wins and you're just trying to rack up as much moolah as possible. There's only a few of these, and you don't see them too often, and that's a good thing. I also think the 2v2 games are a really strong showing here. It's pretty frustrating being at the mercy of an incompetent comm, as you're only as strong as the dumbest person on your team. I was constantly forced to carry my teammate, and in memory games like Order Up, they were forever getting in my way. Ugh. The best 2v2 game is definitely Dungeon Duos. This one has always made top 10 lists, and it's a long course that requires solid teamwork and some pretty damn good button mashing skills to master. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I personally loathe 1 vs 3 games. They're just always massively unfair, they're always stacked in one direction, and usually you can tell the outcome before you even begin. The worst one was Blame It on the Crane, where one person has a whole minute to scoop up the other 3 and they can barely move. Seriously, look how dumb this is, man. I survived nearly the entire minute, which is next to impossible, only to get picked up at the last second and lose it all. Just awful. I think the battle games are absolutely fantastic, if not a little limited. Most of them are skill-based, and winning heaps of coins always feels good. Special shout out to my favorite Bowser game, Fruits of Doom. He orders a selection of fruits at a downright comical speed, and you need to not bring him one that he didn't order. I was getting big mad when a comm took the fruits that I had memorized, and it was always a good time. In general, a really good showing. They do get repetitive though. Minigames are chosen at random, but when there's only 40 in the entire game, you see the same ones a lot. Don't get me wrong, always quality over quantity, but it just didn't take long to have seen all of them, and even the most enjoyable lose their spark on the 5th go around. But here we are, the true final round. This map is pretty small, but it's so volatile. There are tons of Bowser, Battle Game, and Fortune spaces dotted around, and there's also these bridges that degrade as players cross them, and once they collapse, they move to other locations, making it very hard to pick your path. Add to that, Bowser himself is on the board, and he will occasionally do a spell with a negative effect, like making everybody mini for the turn. It didn't happen in this run, but passing him at normal size will have him warp you to the Bowser starting point. This has a Bowser space and Reversal of Fortune immediately in front of it. If you're big going past him, you get a chance to wrestle him, and if you win, that will stop him from taking you to the bad starting point. The happening spaces have you get cooked by a big head, and one of your items gets burned up. So it's really not a good idea to greed magic lamps on this map, I'll tell you that much. I got a downright insane start here where I won coins off of a Mega Mushroom and then I stomped all 3 opponents in the same turn. It was just an utter snowball from there. Thankfully this time Waluigi did not win the lottery, and even with Wario pulling the all red spaces become Fortune space modifier for the final 5 turns, we were blessed enough to not have anybody activate one and pilfer all of my hard-won loot. I simply stacked up on magic lamps and coins, and this was a total wash in my favor. This was the hardest I crushed all playthrough. The comms did not handle this board well. It still cracks me up that the only one I lost was a simple 1 star thanks to Waluigi's astronomical RNG. Before that pesky Koopa King will concede, he forced us into one final confrontation, and this one's pretty fancy. We needed to move through a sequence of challenges across a giant cuboid planet. This really reminded me of Mario Galaxy, despite massively predating it. Honestly, this was all super easy, barely an inconvenience. I just had to dodge some fires and complete a few simple slide puzzles. Thanks to SpongeBob recently, my slide puzzling skills were totally cracked. Eventually, you chase Bowser to the very last area, and that initiates a showdown. He chases you around, and you have to activate 3 switches to form a triangle, which will cause lightning strikes on whomever is inside. Bowser only has 5 health, so it's a very simple matter of repeating this 5 times. Is this it? Is this last hit? Really? It is a phase? Probably not, though. It's only Mario Party. And that's it. That's very anticlimactic. Bam! 8 hours on the dot, dude. Sweet deal. That's the most satisfying number of the challenge so far. See, Bowser just wants a friend. He's just tsundere. Happy birthday, Yoshi. Good times. I love Lamp! I love Lamp! Let's go! Oh no, that's just going in Yoshi's house. Aww. Happy birthday, Yoshi. There's one more present. Oh, I'm immortalized. Let's go. Happy birthday, Yoshi. GG. That's fun, man. And that, my friends, concludes Mario Party 4. While a little more repetitive than I remember it being, it's still fun and the first of many Mario Parties in this challenge. It took me 8 hours on the dot to beat, making it the most satisfying completion time to date. I gave this one a 3 for difficulty. Challenge isn't usually the primary focus of the series, and besides Waluigi winning the absolute lottery, I did win every board first try. Enjoyment scored a 7. It's a great game and I would recommend it, but man did it need more minigame variety. If you made it to the end, then please enjoy a sneak peek at what I'll be playing next time. We did the usual horrendous wheel spin, and this time it landed on Starsky and Hutch. This predated the Ben Stiller-Owen Wilson movie and is a very strange adaptation of the original TV show. I could tell from doing some research we were in for a rough time, but we'll see just how bad things got next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you for that one. Bye-bye.